Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown here with Ryan Graham,
Hey, y'all.
Tim Thurber,
Hello.
and this is State of Atlanta.
Woo.
All right.
You look all like you're ready for a Zoom call there, Ryan. You gonna doing some interviews,
like
or
a Furman call or something, right? Yeah. I didn't have a chance to change because I'm too drunk to realize that it was 9 o'clock. All right, that's really what it is.
I just thought you were going to do two calls at once. That's what I thought you were doing.
Yeah, you had your you got drunk and then you had a school call to be on.
Yeah. Yep. That happened.
See,
then I just kept on drinking, and Ryan did Ryan things.
This is the kind of politician I wish we had in office. I want to have a politician that gets too drunk during his kid's call to make it to his fun call.
You want to root for me, right? I mean,
exactly.
I'm your everyday man.
Your campaign sign had been out of my yard. I'd been sitting next to the trailer by the driveway. And somehow it got wedged in. I was trying to pull it out and it actually broke. And the part that broke off just was like for Lieutenant Governor was the LIE. It said lie. And I'm like, no. Politicians, they all lie. It seems fitting. That's what would happen.
It's fine. Makes sense.
Anywho, welcome back, guys. Baseball seemed to get us off to a awesome weekend. It was a lot of fun watching the guys play on Saturday and Sunday, scoring runs like there's no tomorrow. That was cool.
They earned their Bus Lot Bombers title, right? Or Bud Lot Bombers, but
the Bud Lot Bus Lot Bombers, yeah.
Top 15 in the country, right? Is that right?
Yeah, I think they were 13th in home runs. Yeah, 13 home runs. Yeah. Moved all the way up to I think 98, 99 in RPI. Unfortunately, played Georgia last night. I was there up in Coolray, and it didn't go so hot. Tim and you and I were talking about this before we came on. I went into that game with a lot of high hopes, but not a lot of high expectations. I was thinking about it. When you're in Georgia and you're recruiting baseball. So baseball's a different kind of sport because there's a lot of high school kids that go straight into the drafts and go and play in minor league ball. So so these guys are like, all right, maybe I'm not good enough for minor league right now. I think I could be in the future. Where do I want to go to school? If I'm getting a full ride to a program, do I want to go to something like Panthersville and a Georgia State downtown urban campus? Or do you want to be an athlete and go to a college town like Athens and just have a blast for your 4 years, 5 years of college? That's a huge recruiting disadvantage, right?
Yeah, I would say so. Plus, I mean, let's be honest, Panthersville is it got rave reviews from the Troy fans. How about that?
Well, you know what? They had to find something to complain about. They
did.
No. Here's it. They still get to live in Atlanta, even if they go play like out in Panthersville. Who gives a shit? Like they still get to live in Atlanta, and so that should be exciting for some portion of recruits, and we should be able to do fine with that.
I agree. Atlanta's awesome living, but I just think about what I was like when I was 18 years old and I was going to Georgia State and visiting my friends in Athens on Saturdays, Fridays night, Saturdays, whatever. Man, I lived all week looking for the weekend, like to get up there and have fun and party it up and times have changed. Things have changed a lot. A whole lot in downtown Atlanta and Georgia State and everything. So it's not the same thing it was for me, but I kind of get it. The fact that we're doing as well as we had with both Coach Frey and with Stromdahl now is a testament to how good of coaches and recruiting they are to overcome those kind of obstacles, including Panthersville. And we were talking about it last night at the game. I think that if they ever get this Summerhill baseball stadium opened up, man, you're just gonna get passive baseball. Baseball's a weird sport. There's just people that just enjoy baseball. They enjoy the art of the game.
You just go out to the park too, right? I mean, like you let people bring in coolers and stuff, and like it's just fun. Like that's what America's pastime is all about. Is like just bringing a cooler and going and hanging out and watching a little baseball while you hang out with your friends. Like that's what it's all about.
We'll probably get some people from the apartments to watch too, I'd think, right? I mean,
Yeah,
outside the
yes,
door should be.
So that's kind of similar to what Coolray Field is like. They have all those apartment complexes built up right around the outfield. And there was a guy like right there, before the game started, he had his like little tailgate chair out on his back porch, and he had what I assume was a beer in his hand. I can't see that far away. I've got old man eyes. And he was just sitting there like, he didn't care who was playing. It was Georgia, Georgia State, whoever, the Stripers, whoever else is out there that weekend. I mean, that's kind of cool. And I think it'll be the same way that they built the Hank and other apartments are built to have like the floor to ceiling windows. So when you're there, you can like just look out and see the entire field. It'd be cool. It'd be super cool. I did get some bad news about baseball field while we were there. The last time I had talked, Tim, you were there. Last time we talked to Charlie about it, they were doing the soil samples and everything. There were rumors that when they imploded the Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, they pretty much just buried everything and just laid some asphalt on top, and that was the case. So now to build anything there, they're gonna have to like excavate, dig up a bunch of garbage,
the entire
and debris and everything.
Fulton County Stadium has got to be dug up.
Did they talk about how much more that would cost as opposed to like what they have budgeted?
No, but it can't be all that. I mean, sorry, it's going to cost a lot more. But what I'm saying is like they don't have to dig up the entire thing because 90% of a baseball field is just a grass field. They really only have to worry about the area where there's going to be a structure built. So like the press box on home plate and the what we're going to have like 5 sections of seating. It's not going to be a lot, otherwise it's going to be just like cemented out areas to pull out your tailgate chairs and watch the game and stuff. But yeah, so that happened, and I don't know what kind of budget we've got for building that out. So that's going to be a delay in getting baseball built out, at least from what I heard last night.
Can we possibly somehow get Carter to help out with this, since they got all the primo land somehow, and we're dealt with a garbage pit?
Well, I think we own all the land and we have leased it to Carter. I'm pretty sure. I don't think Carter owns all of it.
No, from what I understand, we actually only own what would be baseball and what was Turner Field. And everything else is actually owned by. That's why we weren't able to have parking in certain spaces, because we didn't own the land. That we had to get permission from Carter to even have cars in those areas. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. But I mean, like, come on, why is Carter just going to pony up a couple extra $1 million to make things better for us?
We helped get it for them. I don't know.
Well, it depends if it would make it better for them as well. You know what I mean? Like, if we can like commit to them that we would drive a certain amount of business to their businesses, then
that seems like a lot of effort on. Seems like a lot of effort on our part, and we've talked about it before. Does not seem like an administration that likes to put a lot of effort into those kind of things.
So this garbage pit that we have to remove, that's a like big setback then for this administration to deal with, right? Like, they're ready to go.
So I heard, I got that information from a much larger donor than any of us are combined. And then when I talked to Charlie about it, he was more of a kind of just brush off the subject type thing, which makes me think that he doesn't really have any information to give, that it's going to be a big barrier to get this built. I don't know. So,
well, start the GoFundMe now.
GoFundMe. Let's do it.
Every Braves fan must donate $1 that's ever gone to that stadium to help us remove the stadium.
Yeah. I mean,
yikes.
What do you expect? That sucks.
Well,
that sucks.
It is what it is. Can't do anything about it, right? But the spring roll with it.
The spring tour thing was kind of cool last night. It wasn't a structured event. Like it wasn't one of those things where like they have like Coach Elliott and Coach Hayes up on a panel with Dave administering anything. Administering. That sounds like he's giving him drugs or something. I don't know.
Or more.
Hosting, organizing, officiating, whatever we're gonna call it, because like it started like 30 minutes before first pitch, so there wasn't really time to kind of do a structured thing. But there was nothing. Like no one even came out and said anything. Like Cobb was there. Coach Elliott was there. I talked to Dan Ellington for a good bit of time, which was very, very cool. He may come on the podcast at some point.
Did you go through the proper channels though?
Did you have any hard hitting questions for Dan?
For Dan, no, we were just talking. It was funny because we had just talked yesterday in our Patreon chat about the watch party at Halfway Crooks and watching him rush for touchdowns against Tennessee while we were there. And I was like, so Dan was like, we were talking about you today. And he's like, what the hell you guys, what do you mean? What are you talking about
like,
before? No, he was cool, man. It was probably I've talked to Dan on a number of occasions. This was probably the most I got a chance to talk to him. And I feel bad because I think he was heading to the food and kind of just like stopped and talked for like 30 minutes about his time at Georgia State and specifically about transitioning from a player to a coach within his own team and everything. And it was cool. It was cool. He was like you'd expect. Dan's awesome. He's a fun guy to talk to. And
good.
He's going to be he's going to I think he's going to come to one more of the events, but he's going to be out on the road back in his home state of Mississippi doing some recruiting for the other
I'll
events.
take it.
So yeah, absolutely. It was fun.
Did you hear if they're going to have like a program type thing going on for the Center Park one or one of the other ones? Or
there was literally no discussion about that, but I would assume so. I would assume
there's no way not to do that because there's not another event happening, right? I mean, like that's why we're going to be there. So it's got to be. I mean, I'm giving a lot of credit here, but like it's got to be planned.
It's the same way that it was last year. The very first spring tour last year was at what was it? Was it Wild Heaven or Three Taverns at the Madison Yards, Dairies, whatever they call it over there off of Memorial. And that was what it was. It was just everybody got to a brewery and the coaches were available to talk to. The football staff was available to talk to. And that's what it is. I talked to Elliot last night. Danny, one of our Patreon members, was there with us. And we had a few tall IPAs in us. And before we went to talk to Elliot, and I think the first question he asked was, he asked the same question to him last year that I asked him, or he asked the same question last night that I asked him last year, which is, are you looking forward to the season? And for all the coach speak in the world, Coach Elliott, when you're one-on-one with him, like he doesn't really give a F about it at all. He's like, it's way too early to look forward to the season now, which I'm like, I'm a fan. I've been looking forward to the season since the last game of the past season.
Right. Yeah. As soon as you guys were done with the past season, I was excited about the next season. So like, I need you to be at least where I am.
Probably before the last game. Right. I don't know. Like,
that's neither here nor there. I would understand where Coach might not be worried about it, but like,
we're in next year land. Come on, come with us.
Yeah.
That was kind of an overriding theme talking to him was, and I get it. He's a coach and we are fans. We have different perspectives on the program. Did that rhyme? Well, I think it rhymed. Anyhow,
I disagree. He should be a fan of his own program.
But I don't know. I was we got into talking about the scheduling of games. I brought up the whole thing about ending the season with 2 away games back-to-back years. And I told him up front, I was like, I know you probably don't care about this at all, but from a fan perspective,
does he care?
I know. And I said,
did he tell you he cares?
I said that. I was like, I'm sure you're one of those anytime, anywhere, anybody kind of guys. Like, oh no, I'm not at all. I'm not that one. But he, I don't know if he even realized that we finished the season away the past 2, this year and what last year was. But we talked about. He said he was kind of flip-floppy. He said that he wishes we did not play a Power 5 team. He wishes we had no P5 teams. Then he went on.
Interesting.
Yeah. Then he went on. We've already played South Carolina, so there's no other P5 teams he gives a shit about anymore. But then he goes on to talk about how we have to play a P5 team to get the paycheck, and the home and home series with teams like UNC and Vanderbilt that we have on the schedule are pointless and should not be scheduled because we need that $1.5 million paycheck to pay for the program. I'm like, but you said you didn't want to this is when like my third Tropicalia was kicking in pretty hard, and I was like, I don't want to sound like a fool here, but I feel like you're disagreeing with what you said a Tropicalia ago. And,
I have a big, huge, ginormous problem with that attitude. That's an opportunity to go out there and like show them what's what in one game, that like you don't have to play the difficult schedule that they have to play. You don't have to do all this other stuff, but like you get to go out there for one game and show them that you are equals. And like you're gonna say that like you don't think that we should play that game. We should win that game. I'm really frustrated to hear that he thinks we shouldn't even play it.
I think I mean, so you're saying 2 series we're excited about it, aren't we? Like,
you're talking. No, I think you guys are talking about different games. Ryan, you're talking about the P5 game, right?
Games.
And Tim, you're talking about the home and home games, right?
Home P5,
we're on,
yeah.
Right, yeah. I personally, I understand the P5, the financial part of it, but from a fan perspective, I like the home and home with the lower P5 programs as well.
Take the financial, whatever, that's fine. Like we need it, so we'll do it. But like we also should just like embrace that and say we should win it.
Well, part of what I told him was, I'm like, I was like, you're a coach, you're a football guy, this is your life. I get it. I was like, I'm a fan, I'm a tailgater, and I'm looking for a fun experience. And I want to, go to these storied programs and hang out and do that tailgating thing. Also, I want to have these larger programs come to our home and tailgate and have these big things. And like that's a fun experience for me. He's like, oh yeah, you don't get it, you don't understand anything. And I'm like,
wait, so
I made Tropicalia.
So he was okay with the money games, but not okay with the home and home. Is that what you're saying?
He said he didn't want to play any Power 5 teams.
Yeah, but see, that's what I thought. And then the questions that came up.
But then he said that you have to play the Power 5 teams for the money, and was kind of being
for the glory, for the winning glory. That's why you have to play them. Like yeah. The money is like the we're gonna get that no matter what. So like who cares about the rest of it? But like we beat Tennessee and we were 10 minutes into beating Auburn, and like we should be that close to beating every single team that we play in the P5 going forward, and that is very exciting for us.
And it's good exposure for the program. Like you can't buy that.
I'm sorry, I'm like
you're never gonna get it
taking it out
Troy.
on you guys.
Like,
I
don't see you taking it out on us. I think that we're all on the exact same page here.
I'm baffled.
I mean, I made the comment to him last night. I was like, I was there in Auburn, and checking the tweets during the game, like there that last 10 minutes, like you mentioned, Ryan, and when somebody had some sports analyst, some blue checkmark guy back before you could buy it, was like, Georgia State is about to get themselves blacklisted from all SEC teams. Yep. And I'm like, that kind of stuff is what gets my fire going. That's what I like. And yeah, he was weird. He was drinking out of a cup that was nondescript. I don't know what he was pouring into that cup or not, but there was a full bar available to us. But there was plenty of coach speak out there, but there was a lot of candid talk. And, the cool thing about being a Georgia State fan, from all the disappointment there's out there, but when you talk to all your Georgia or Alabama or all the other, big, huge major program fans, you're never going to be able to like walk up, pay $25 for a ticket to a minor league baseball stadium to see your team play and go up there and talk to your head coach about these kind of things. So it was kind of cool. I enjoyed it. But Danny wasn't holding any punches. He asked him how the new defensive coordinator was doing. And of course, immediately Elliott was defensive, and he's like, he better be good. It's only been a week. I'm like, come on, be a little more friendly. But then he's like, well, we kind of thought that, this move should have happened a long time ago, and started asking him like, is like, do you evaluate your coaches after every season, or are you evaluating during the season? Like it got to like that awkward moment where I kind of just like turned and started talking to somebody else. Like I don't want to be part
You're
of
listening.
Like,
you're listening.
Like, I had one ear over here, but I was kind of like,
I don't want to be here.
I don't know if I want to be affiliated with this conversation right now, but I'm really curious.
But I want to know the answer.
It sounded like, I mean, from what Coach Elliott said, it sounded like he was ready for a change. Like maybe he had actually told Fuqua, like, if there's an option out there, if there's an opportunity out there, maybe it's time. So
yeah,
he sounded a little excited about.
There was no confidence in that, but like it sounded sort of like that.
It was like a change is good. You need change after a while type comments and everything.
Defense hasn't been good. So like we can be very clear about that. Under Fuqua, our defense has not been good.
Yes. Yeah.
Give him
it was interesting. But so guys, everyone listening, there are 3 more Spring Tour events. I'm pretty sure Coach Elliott's going to be at all 3 of them. If you want to get your questions answered, show up, walk to him.
Right up.
Wait till he's had. We waited till we were a little boozed up. He was a little boozed up too, I believe. I don't know. I'm saying.
And ask him about Myrtle Beach.
Yes, exactly. Maybe that should be the question. If they do a panel and they take questions from the crowd, just ask, like, hey, Coach Elliott, what are your thoughts?
Oh, well, no, don't do it all publicly or anything, but like side to side, like man to man, just be like, hey, talk to me about Myrtle Beach and your time there.
Spoiler alert,
there's stories there.
He's not a fan.
There are stories there, and it's up to him to tell you, but they're fun.
Yes.
To hear, not to live.
May or may not involve firearms. So
jeez.
Just saying.
So when's the next one? When's the next Spring Tour date?
Let's promote GSU
Athletics. Let's go.
Not this Thursday, the following Thursday at, I put it down here at the football stadium.
Yep.
Next Thursday, the football stadium, whatever that date is. Whatever.
My money says that's the program.
Are we gonna tailgate? just kidding.
Why not, man? Come on.
Sort of kidding.
I talked about tailgating this. Oh, that's another question asked. Like, how'd you feel about the spring games? Like, it's a spring game. What do you expect to get out of a spring game? Like, I don't know. You put this whole event together. You asked fans to come out. Like,
we were out there. We had fun. We had a good old time.
I thought we were tailgating the spring game. He didn't care. We
were the only ones. Yeah. That's why I didn't care.
I do find it kind of funny. I didn't realize this until I was putting together the notes for tonight. So the next one is at Center Park Stadium. The following one is on April 20th at Sweetwater. It's 4:20 at Sweetwater. Like,
whoa. That's gonna be amazing.
Right. Should I take some gummies before I get there?
Yes.
Take an Uber.
Mind blown.
Yes.
Mind blown. Yeah,
for sure.
It's our own little 420 fest. Woo! That was cool.
That'll be
typically
good.
Been the Sweetwater one has typically been like the best attended. Like, so last night, that suite was cool. It was probably, I don't know, 3 dozen people or so, maybe less than that. But like Sweetwater will draw in the hundreds. Big time.
Nice.
And Center Park Stadium tends to pull in quite a few as well. It's fun.
I'm actually surprised that they have the space available on 420 for us.
Right? I was surprised by that too.
Seems like they have a thing. They have a Sweetwater 420 as like one of their beers.
I wonder if they'll have us in the upstairs event space.
It just seems
that's
weird.
Where it's been in the past.
Has it? Okay.
I don't think I've been to Sweetwater for one of our events.
Have you not? I'm trying.
I think I've only been there one time. It was for a company party, and it was a couple years ago. I don't think I've ever been there for a Georgia State event.
Were you not there when I got on stage and took Dave's spot interviewing the coaches?
No, I would remember that. You did not. You couldn't take Dave's spot. Sorry.
No,
Dave.
He got down. No. There is no way I could ever take Dave's spot, like, figuratively, but I literally sat in his chair while he was not there and talked to the coaches and took questions from the crowd.
Yeah. All right.
Where did he go?
I don't know. he doesn't drink, so he wasn't refilling a beer. Maybe he just got up and I just slid in. He didn't call seat backs or anything, but we had a good time.
That's funny.
No,
I think this is before the podcast.
The thing is, though, is these events are like so much fun to go to. Like in the off season when there's not a lot of, there's no basketball, there's no football, there's other sports going on for sure, but like lots of people aren't that into those other sports, and like getting out and just like hanging out with the coaches is a way to stay connected to the program, and like we should all take advantage of it.
Yeah, and I kind of like how they're doing it this year, because like in the past when they first started the spring tour deal, it would be like they would do 6 of them in like 2 weeks. It was like really like just bam, 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 bam. Like I remember like just having like go to like 3 of them in 1 week or something. But now they have them spread out quite a bit. So we did the one, what was it? Last night was the March 21st, and the last one's April 26th. This is over a month long of doing this, which I think makes a lot of sense. You don't get you can get tired. Some people will want to come out to all of them. I'm going to all of them, or at least I plan on going to all of them. But you can pick out whichever one works best for you. You have more time to do it, so it's cool. Every Georgia State fan, if you're listening to this podcast, you know what we're talking about. But like, if you're listening to this, tell everybody you've ever that's gone to Georgia State, even for a class or two. Come to the spring tour. The access you have to the athletic director, to the football coach, the football staff, and the other coaches that show up, it's unprecedented. I assume Coach Hayes is going to be at least one of these. At least one.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's Jarvis and we don't know.
We won't know.
You could totally send them and be like, go for me. I don't want to do this.
It's the socks that give them away, right? Is that what we heard? We figured out. It's the socks.
Right. Yeah. Jarvis has the better sock game. Is that what it is?
Plus you get 2 free drinks or something like that, and food at all these tour events, right? I mean,
yeah, last night they had a full spread of food, and yeah, you got 2 drink tickets, and if you could convince them that you lost your drink tickets, they would probably give you 2 more. Not saying, just saying.
I went to the bathroom. I lost my drink tickets. I need tickets, right?
I need more tickets. I need more drink tickets. Yeah. So back to baseball a little bit. Big weekend, but I mean, I was really hoping that we would come on here tonight and talk about beating Georgia. Got Tech next Tuesday. Back up in Coolray again. I think Tim, you're going to that game, right? You're going to go to State at Tech, or State versus Tech.
Who's home? Are they home? We're home. Right?
We're home. Yeah, we're the home game. We're the home game.
It's the neutral
cool.
site home game, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the second year where both of our home games against UJ and Tech have been at Coolray, and then we play them in Athens and them at Midtown, or whatever. But
I do kind of hope, talking about Coolray Field, I hope we incorporate some kind of outfield hill with grass or something like that when we finally build the stadium out. No?
What do you mean?
It's a pipe. I mean, maybe if we had all the excavation, all the crap we pull out from underneath the ground, we just like pile it up against those the big outfield walls and everything. Maybe so. I wouldn't. It's cool looking. Having the little grassy knoll or whatever it's called to look into games, it's neat. I don't expect that. All the renderings
you mean like
have not
outfield
shown.
space where we can sit?
Yeah, outfield space.
Interesting.
Yeah,
like an elevated grassy outside the fence area. They've got it. They've got it over there. Kind of like how some of these crappy teams we play in the Sun Belt Conference, how they have like their one end zone that's like not seats and it's just grass ramp or whatever, kind of stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about, right, Ryan? And your
sorta
your mauve shirt or whatever the hell you're wearing tonight.
It's purple, but yeah, you know what? I messed up, y'all. I did not time things right. I'm very drunk. And I thought you might have been changed before, and so yeah, I'm wearing purple. All right.
I thought you might have been passed out or something.
So I'm sorry. I messed up, and you know what? Instead of changing shirts, I got beers.
There you go.
Good call.
There you go.
So I made my choices, and this is what I got to deal with now.
Are you wearing your purple shirt because you picked Furman to win in the tournament?
No, this is what I wore to work today. God.
Oh man, you actually. Oh, you left the house in that?
Yeah, dude, it's a nice shirt.
Yeah, my wife wore
comfy,
one just like it today for her.
Eyes. It's good, man. It's a good shirt.
My wife wore a very similar shirt on her Zoom call today for work. Yeah, I can see that. It's great, man. It's great. Yeah.
I bet she looked great.
Yeah. She wore it better than you.
Say something. Yeah. Say she didn't.
I said she wore it better than you.
I'm texting her.
So Kennesaw State lost. Nothing, no response.
No, I had Xavier winning anyway. But man, was that a fun game to watch? And you know what? I had Xavier in my bracket, but I still was I was rooting for Kennesaw State. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted that to happen, and they were winning for like 75% of that game.
Got to finish, man. Closing.
Yep. Got to finish though.
They experience a Georgia State style game, like you just win. Oh nope, sorry, we lost.
Yeah. Sorry.
Except their fans are not as experienced in that as we are. They went crazy about.
It came down to the last play of the game, though. I mean, it was like really like a fun game to watch, and I was rooting for the underdog, and it wasn't like they gave up in the last 10 minutes of the game. It's like it came down to the last shot.
They ran out of gas. I mean, they went on a strategic deficit of scoring baskets, which we're all used to. And then obviously Xavier did not. They just ran out of gas. I felt a little bad for them because I felt like they could get by. They just ran out.
Yeah, I've got a buddy of mine who he got his undergrad at Georgia, and he's diehard Georgia first and everything. But he got his master's at Kennesaw State. He went to Kennesaw's first football game, and I don't think he's been to a Kennesaw State sporting event since then. But man, he was just talking about that game and like how gut-wrenching the loss was, and I'm like, wow. You know what, dude? I don't want to hear that crap. Like, you've not followed any of this stuff at all.
Until they were trendy.
Us Georgia State, exactly, Georgia State fans. The three of us, those we tailgate with, those that listen to this podcast, we've been through so much worse than what Kennesaw State went through in that one game. You made it. Be happy. Get over it. I was rooting against them.
I wasn't rooting against them. I just didn't care. I just like watching the game. I think it was good that it wasn't a blowout, right? Yeah. Nothing's worse than watching like a 25-point NCAA tournament game.
Well, David, I thought you rooted for all Georgia teams except for the Trash Down South.
So
not rooted. In the NCAA tournament.
It's not really rooting. It's like an attaboy. I have an attaboy for everybody in Georgia besides the Trash Down South. And you win a game.
If they got through the first round, you would have really attaboyed. You'd have pounded the shoulder. Boom.
Yeah, because I actually had them in my bracket. I followed some weird methodology that I've heard on TikTok.
You had them winning.
They're in my bracket. I had them being Xavier. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What you were really close. Because no one else would have had that one. I mean, that would have been crazy, and it was very possible. You know what I mean? That's what kills us and Kennesaw State fans is how possible it was. They were almost there.
Was this their first time ever in the tournament? This is their first time ever, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was their first time ever getting to the NCAA tournament. Great showing
in their
for
last
first time, right?
And their last time.
They're going to drop down now. I think we're.
Well, I mean,
not. Go ahead.
Go, Tim. Go.
No, I was going to say, with Kennesaw getting in for the first time, FAU is damn impressive with their 8 seed or 9 seed. I don't know what they
are.
What
I got them. I got them going in like Sweet 16.
I mean, you're
or
really
the Elite 8.
Ryan is like first place in our state of Atlanta bracket. I'm not dead last because there was more than one person, including Tim. More than one person, including Tim, who forgot to fill out their bracket. And by the way,
oops.
Tim organized the bracket challenge for state of Atlanta and forgot to fill out his bracket.
I think I'm second, tied for second with somebody, but I have way more potential points than anyone else.
Right. So what's your strategy? You're gonna tell us what it is?
What? I just looked at the stats, man, and I just looked at offense versus defense, and then sort of did a net ranking because they had the net ranking in there too. And I was like, well, but if they are rated really low, then maybe we don't care as much about offense versus defense. But if they were rated pretty well, then I don't know. I just winged it, man.
All right. I mean, FAU's legit.
And FAU, in all these matchups, I was like, man, they could win this.
Mm-hmm. And they are. I mean, I was curious. I looked up their record before this season. They're horrible. Their coach turned them around completely and got them to an 8 or 9 seed, whatever they are.
Yeah. They only have 3 losses. 3 or 4 losses this season or something ridiculous. Yeah.
They have a team of guards.
The other thing I looked at heavily because NCAA showed this was the top 25 win-loss ratio. And I don't remember where they were, but I looked at that as well because I was interested in knowing were you able to compete with some of the best? And I think top 25 matters a lot more in basketball because there's 360 teams in it or something stupid, as opposed to football where I think once you're past the 25, I'm like, whatever, who cares? Once you're past 10, I'm whatever, who cares?
Yeah, well, football is a way different. The number of players you got on a team, and then also how just lopsided you get with the top of the cream of the crop. Your Georgias, your Bamas, your Ohio States could play all their third string and beat almost every team out of the top 25. They just have their talent is just too phenomenal. So that's why those upsets against those kind of programs are so remarkable. We did get another 1 seed loss to a 16 seed. This doesn't do Georgia State, but yeah. I just imagine every UVA fan was the biggest Fair Dick fan during that game. They're like, don't get rid of the memes about us. It can't be all UVA. Of course, UVA lost in the first round as well, but I didn't have that either.
Tradition, right?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even have who did Fair Dick beat? They beat. I didn't have them going very far. Whoever they beat.
I don't even remember who it was.
Yeah,
I
mean, so that was key to my all these points that I have right now, all the potential points that I have is I am actually really solid on, even if I was wrong, I had the winner of the one that I was wrong, not going very far.
I think I have half of my. Go.
No, I was say it's funny. All the Virginia fans said, now if you don't win it all next year, you're a complete failure. Because that's what they did. They lost the 16 seed, and the next year they won the whole NCAA tournament. So we'll see next year. It should be Purdue winning it all.
But I think my biggest misses were VCU was a 12 seed, and I had them going to the Elite 8, and they were gone in the first round. And then I think Marquette, maybe, I'm not sure. It was somebody over there that I also had going pretty far that lost. But I only had 2 long running bracket breakers, and I've got Houston winning it all. So.
I've got Houston in the Final Four. I think I got Houston and Gonzaga are if Houston and Gonzaga can make it to the Final Four, I will not be last place. I mean, I'm not. There's no chance of me getting, top 3 in our challenge. But
a lot of people have Bama winning it all, and so that I have Houston is a differentiator that will cause me to win.
I don't understand why programs like Bama that just make more money than God in their football program don't win every other sport because they have so much money coming in.
That makes any sense. Yeah.
You just dump it into all your other sports. Like
right.
If I was athletic director, I would probably get fired very, very soon. But if I was the athletic director of a school that brings in $1.5 billion in football alone, I would pay tennis players, I would pay golf, I would pay everybody. I'm like, all right, we're gonna win. We're gonna be the first college to win national championships in every sponsored sport. We're gonna sponsor every sport that's out there. We're gonna create new sports to sponsor just to win another national
underwater basket weaving national championship.
Champion, absolutely.
Champion. We're the only team in the whole league, and we're gonna win it all.
Exactly. Create new sports, pay other teams to create sports just so we can win it. That's what I would do if I was the AD of Bama or Georgia, for that matter. Actually, if I was AD of Georgia, I would just schedule them against Georgia State every single season, and then and then I would expose the fact that we've been paying our players, so those players couldn't play during the games.
You would pay players and then expose that you paid players.
Exactly. So that Georgia State would win every time, no matter what.
You got to expose it like right before the game.
Exactly. Yeah. That morning, I'm calling Lee Corso up. I'm like, hey, by the way, here's video of me paying this player right here, so he can't play now.
Wouldn't that make it worse if we lost?
You see David just shoving money down people's pants and having someone take a photo.
David jerking somebody off.
Whoa. We're not on last call yet. We're not on last call yet.
Well, I didn't say anything like terrible, right? I don't know. It's all about the actual words being used, not the things being said.
Yeah, there you go. All right, one more sport to get through before we go to last call, and beach volleyball.
They're great.
They're great, but they are what's that? They are who we think they are. Like the rankings in beach volleyball are on point. We have beaten every team that's not ranked. We've beaten every team that is ranked behind us. We have lost to every team ranked ahead of us. So and that happened this weekend.
They're solid rankings.
They're good at ranking people then. Yeah.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. They got it right. And we ended up playing last weekend. We played number 3 UCLA, number 4 FSU, number 5, whatever the hell an LMU is.
Rough week.
Number 6 LSU. We lost every one of those games. But then we played number 19 Tulane, beat them. We played unranked UAB, we beat them. Fortunately, this week we play everybody that are either unranked or ranked below us. So hopefully this should be a clean sweep for the Sandy Panthers this weekend.
Yeah, I expect it.
In Columbia, South Carolina, do you think that we'll get some pictures of Coach Elliott at the game?
Maybe.
No.
He'll be out there scouting players, right?
No, he's out on his lake.
Scouting with players.
What are you talking about?
Which players is he scouting?
we should get someone to kick field goals. Why not?
Because beach volleyball players are good at kicking field goals?
Maybe. You never know.
Not until you try, right?
Yeah.
All right. That's all I had. I got nothing else. You guys got anything else?
I don't know. You had questions about things that maybe I have answers for, but like I didn't prepare for it. But
or like something.
You talk about recruiting.
Yeah. Do you get? There was a couple of guys, right, that came in through. I mean, do you guys know? Do you have anything? I've got 0. I got zilch. So if you don't have anything, I got
about
nothing.
all of them. No.
Well, so the guy that got that committed from
Lehigh.
What school was it? Lehigh. Yeah, Lehigh.
Yeah.
He's 7th year senior, and
yeah. I talked to Dan.
Go ahead.
I talked to Dan about him, and I'm like, is he actually older than you, Dan? And he's like, he may actually be older than me.
Yeah. We got a couple of these guys. But like, the thing is like, nothing there stood out very much. He wasn't a starter for many years, but then he started every game for the last like 2 years or something at Lehigh. And you get these guys who have a lot of experience under the belt, and they can be leaders on the team, regardless if they're able to like play or whatever, like play to the level that we want them to. But like, you get these leaders on the team, and that makes a big difference. Right. And you also get, I don't know, man. I just I see this as like, we get all upset about how P5 programs come in and pick off us, right? They pick off all these like players that are our best players, and like, we get to go into FCS and pick off all their best players. And so this is like part of that, right? This is like part of the ecosystem that is now forming, is now being created. And like, we picked up a leader on the field, and that's exciting. And I think that will make our team better. And I think we should see more of that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's the pecking order. The G5 take the best they can get from FCS, and P5 takes the best they can get from G5. And I guess all you want to do is, and I guess also the same point of that is the G5 take off the guys that just could not get playing time from the P5 as well. So you can take
we will snatch from above as well. Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Well, we
snatch
had a lot of players
to.
We need to replace players, right? We lost some key players all around, especially on defense. So even though he's got 1 year of eligibility, great. You're going to fill a hole, and we can, replace you in a year. So,
well, and so what I was told from insiders was that we had Blake Carroll was out early last season, and we had walk-ons replacing him. And this basically creates some depth in a place where we have not had depth already.
Right.
But again, I just think that you get this experience in the locker room where, like, even if he's not the best player on the field, he's going to be a guy who pushes other players to be their best. And I don't know. I love the guy. I think it's great.
He can be a guy who can be the guy.
Be a guy that can.
He'll be a guy he'll be an unsung hero. I think like he'll be one of those folks who's like out there and like encouraging and like being the person who other players need to be around to like fulfill their potential.
Well, and you can't knock, we're still talking about, a couple year age difference, but the maturity that he would bring to the locker room as well. Yeah. Like, hey guys, I've been there, I've done this, I know what you're going through type stuff. Yeah, I agree. I think you're absolutely right, Ryan. I think it's a good pickup. It's just a 1 year though, locker room. Right? We just got him for 1 year. That's all it is. Grad transfer.
1 year, but and there's also depth, right? There's a depth issue where like, all right, you can have a rotation guy who comes in, and then you also like if somebody gets hurt, you have somebody with experience who can come in and like fill in that gap. That's not a walk on.
Let's cross our fingers and let's pray that we have another COVID year, COVID 2023, and we can keep him, and he'll be the first 30-year-old.
Please no. Please no. Please.
Breaking all the wrong records at Georgia State.
The first doctoral student playing football.
I wasn't sure if he was transferring under the like you can transfer one time rules, or if he was transferring under the like he graduated rules.
Grad transfer. I think
he's a grad transfer. Yeah, he's grad.
I don't know. Yeah. I have no idea if he already did that. No clue.
Yeah, he's graduate transfer.
All right, guys, we're about to hit 50 minutes, so I think we nailed this one. We'll go over to last call. We can finish up all this conversation and talk some more. I did some barbecue over the weekend. We can talk about all that kind of fun stuff. And yeah, say goodbye, guys. Oh wait, no, I got to do the Patreon thing first, right? Hey,
$3.
We're gonna go to last call. We're gonna talk some more and drink some more. It's available on our Patreon page. It's free of charge, but If you pay $3 a month, you can get it immediately. Otherwise, you can't get it until Friday. Yeah, Friday, right? Also, access to our private group chat, discuss on our merchandise, and all the other cool stuff. Please consider subscribing. Patreon.com/StateOfAtlanta. Subscribe and like.
Are you reading?
No,
that's great. That was awesome.
It sounded like
I thought you were reading. That was amazing.
I watch a lot of YouTube videos.
That was great, man. Kudos.
Thanks everybody for listening. We're gonna go over to last call, talk some more, find it out again. Patreon.com/StateOfAtlanta, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Peace.